9 people have been killed and dozens injured as a result of a strike on a high-rise building in Ternopil, President Volodymyr Zelensky reported. Rescue operations are ongoing and there may still be people trapped under the rubble. Today, Russia terrorized Ukraine by launching more than 470 drones and 48 missiles of various types. Ternopil, Lviv, Kharkiv, Kyiv, Mykolaiv, Dnipropetrovsk and Chernihiv regions were attacked. The Russians once again targeted the energy sector, infrastructure and transportation. In Prikapatia, 3 people were injured, 2 of them children. A person was also injured in Donetsk region. And now let's return to Ternopil, where the rescue operation is ongoing. On the ruins of damaged apartment buildings following the night and morning strikes, emergency workers are inspecting floor by floor to check if there are any people trapped under the rubble. They are also extinguishing fires during the combined air attack with drones and missiles. Several explosions were heard in the city, and it is known that 2 apartment buildings were hit. And at the site of the attack, TSN correspondent Svetlana Pevok is working. Right now, we have her live on the line. Svetlana, what official information do we have at this moment regarding the dead and injured? And do we know how many people might still be trapped under the rubble of the destroyed buildings?
So what is known at this time? 9 people are dead and 33 are injured. This is in 2 apartment buildings. Right now, as you can see, a search operation is underway in this apartment building. The Russians destroyed the top 4 floors. Rescuers are still trying to reach people trapped under the rubble. How many people are there? We don't know. We do know that there are even injured children in the hospital. This is not just a simple bedroom in the Ternopil neighborhood. The other one is also damaged, not present in the neighborhood, but a bit further away. There is an elementary school nearby, and all the windows here have been blown out. Regarding this building, the strike happened early in the morning, and you can see that firefighters are still putting out the flames because everything is still smoking. These warehouses located nearby have also been affected. There was a hit there as well. And now the concentration of fluorine in the air exceeds the norm by 6 times. As you can clearly see right here, they are starting non-official work. Now I'll ask for a signal. It's just that there are no people here. If they hadn't
managed to escape,
it would have been simple as that.
Just 3 people gone, if not more.
People don't really want to talk. There are many people here who have suffered, who are waiting for their relatives to be pulled out from under the rubble. But they absolutely do not want to talk to journalists. They are in a state of shock. For Ternopil, this is the most devastating attack so far. There are a lot of people here. People were also told to close their windows and not go outside because the air is dangerous, but still, a lot of people have gathered. Well, that's all the information for now. I still don't know how many people are under the rubble because that information hasn't been released yet. That's all I can say at this moment.
Thank you. We will be closely following updates from you. TSN correspondent Svetlana Pevok reporting on the enemy strike on Ternopil. There have been hits on apartment buildings. Currently, 9 people have been killed and there are also wounded. Search and rescue operations are ongoing at the sites of the attacks. As the TSN correspondent reported, there is significant air pollution near the impact sites. The number of injured in Kharkiv has risen to 36. Among them are 2 children, aged 9 and 13, and an 18-year-old girl. The city was subjected to a massive drone attack overnight. Civilian infrastructure was hit in the affected area. In 2 districts, Slobitsky and Osnoviansky, one of the Shaheds crashed into a 9-story residential building. A large-scale fire broke out there. Rescuers evacuated more than 50 people, including 3 children, from the smoke-filled entrance. At least 6 victims were hospitalized with injuries and burns. Garages and civilian cars under the buildings also caught fire. The roof of an office building burned, and there was extensive destruction in a supermarket. Public transport and critical infrastructure were damaged. The city council has already announced that today trolley buses are not running on at least 3 routes. All emergency services are still working at the sites of the strikes.
Strike UAVs were used, as well as Garand 2. At present, 15 impact sites have been identified, where inspections of the scene are ongoing and debris is being found. The target was civilian infrastructure, specifically a supermarket building, an educational institution, multi-apartment residential buildings, and civilian vehicles were also affected.
Dnipro is dealing with the aftermath of a massive drone attack. The previous night, explosions rang out one after another in the city and powerful fires raged. This time, the enemy targeted the television center, railway facilities, residential buildings, shops, and car service stations. 2 people were injured. TSN correspondent Olha Pavlovska will share more details.
A swarm of drones over Dnipro. Among the targets was the railway station. Passengers were hiding in the underground passage. The attack caused massive fires. This is the television center burning. Rescuers fought the fire all night. The film studio burned down completely, equipment, sets, and costumes. A film school had been operating here for 6 years. It was a family business run by a large family.
We lost everything. All of our investments, we lost all of our equipment, lost our important documents, and all the materials associated with the films. So value your life and truly appreciate what you have. Because literally in just a few minutes, you can lose it all like this.
They left work half an hour before the attack. They were just decorating the place to welcome about 50 children for workshops.
You were decorating the Christmas tree and it burned down. Look,
Just yesterday we were preparing together so that today children who are 5 years old could come to their lessons. And now it looks like this.
There was also a branch of Suspilne Dnipro in this damaged building. All the employees managed to leave work before the attack. The studio burned down. Despite the destroyed premises and equipment, the correspondents go on air in the morning.
The fire spread and almost everything burned down. We managed to take out 2 laptops from there, but they don't work. However, we keep working. This doesn't stop us.
As a result of the attack, 2 people were injured. The lives of the woman and the man are not in danger. Investigators and prosecutors are examining the wreckage of enemy drones.
At the moment, we can say that. The strike was carried out by Shahed-type drones, Gran.
At the same time, the city's residents are still recovering from what they've experienced.
Horrible, horrible, about 20 of them, one after another, one after another.
you hear footsteps.
The Shahed is flying, bam, bam, and then it whizzes. I think now there will be an explosion, definitely an explosion. It's terrifying.
At least 7 apartment buildings have been damaged, with more than 1,000 windows shattered. This is the children's room of Mrs. Marina's 3-year-old daughter. They moved here from Pokrovsk. They barely managed to make it to the basement in time.
We heard it flying just 2 seconds before it exploded. And that's it, we grabbed the child and ran downstairs, and by the time we got to the bottom, everything started exploding again. And that's it, all of us neighbors sat together in the basement, hugged each other, and cried. We thought we wouldn't make it out of the basement.
Under the windows of the shattered apartment building, they're trying to find their valuable belongings. The family from Kostiantynivka for now. In vain.
The little box with the gold was on the windowsill and everything was taken away. The whole basement was shaking. The explosions were very strong. The apartment is gone. We fled from war only to arrive at another war.
At the railway, the suburban depot has been destroyed and the main repair shop has been ruined. The windows at the station and in the train cars were shattered. The university administration building, the service station, shops, a cafe, pharmacies and beauty salons were all damaged. People are sorting through the wrecked property and trying to resume work. The head of the destroyed film studio says she won't give up on her dream, no matter what.
We will definitely shoot more films. A truly family film in Dnipro.
Olya Pavlovska, Alexander Kulish, Dnipro, TSN 1+ Marathon United News.
There are already 32 people injured in Kharkiv. Among them are 2 children aged 9 and 13 and an 18-year-old girl. The city was subjected to a massive drone attack overnight. Civilian infrastructure in 2 districts, Slobitsky and Osnoviansky, was hit. One of the Shaheds crashed into a 9-story residential building. A large-scale fire broke out. Rescuers evacuated more than 50 people, including 3 children, from the smoke-filled entrance. At least 6 victims were hospitalized with injuries and burns. There were also fires. Garages, civilian cars under the buildings, the roof of an office building, and a supermarket suffered large-scale destruction and fires. Public transport and critical infrastructure were damaged. The city council has already announced that today, at least 3 trolleybus routes will not be running. All emergency services are still working at the impact sites.
Strike UAVs and KGRN-2 were used. Currently, 15 impact sites have been identified where inspections are ongoing and debris is being cleared. The targets were civilian infrastructure, specifically a supermarket building, an educational institution, apartment buildings, and civilian vehicles.
7 people were injured as a result of the shelling in the Dnipropetrovsk region. In the Nikopol district, a woman and 2 men were hospitalized. There, the enemy destroyed 7 apartment buildings, a gymnasium, a gas station, infrastructure facilities, and damaged an agricultural enterprise where 100 birds were killed. In the Pavlohrad district, 4 men were injured and an enterprise and infrastructure were damaged. In Sinelnikov district, the occupiers completely destroyed 3 private houses and damaged 4 more. 2 people were killed and 3 wounded in Kherson region. A 40-year-old man did not survive the shelling of the regional center the day before. And 2 more city residents sustained explosive injuries. In Novovoronsovka, the Russians attacked a municipal utility vehicle with a drone. 1 worker was killed and his colleague sustained blast injuries. In Zelenivka, enemy shells destroyed residential houses and damaged gas and power lines. They entered the southern part of Mionorad. Our forces have detected up to 30 soldiers in the city and are trying to eliminate them. The situation in the Pokrovsk and Mirnohrad directions is becoming more complicated. The Russians are also putting pressure on the northern part of Pokrovsk. Fighting has also intensified in the Novopavlivka direction. There, the occupiers broke through into the village of Novopavlivka. With the use of up to 10 pieces of equipment, our forces have not yet been able to drive them out completely. Russia is active on this section of the front. They are advancing deeper into the Dnipropetrovsk region, particularly toward the highway connecting Pavlohrad with Pokrovsk. The situation near Huliapol on the Zaporizhzhia front is no less difficult. In recent days, we have lost over 100 square kilometers of territory there, which is 6 villages. And the enemy does not stop its assault operations. Meanwhile, in Kupiansk, to prevent the advance of Ukrainian forces in the city, the Russians have brought in reinforcements, according to the defense forces.